In today's video, advocating for equity as an instructional coach or informal leader with Ange Molony. Hello, coaches. Welcome back to another episode of Coach Better Quick Tips. My name is Kim Capino, and I've worked with hundreds of teachers, coaches, and leaders in schools around the world to help them create thriving and sustainable instructional coaching programs. And I'm on a mission to help you coach better. Wherever you are in your coaching journey, we can support you. Come learn with me in one of our courses or private mentoring packages designed specifically for instructional coaches. Join our global Coach Better community, ask any questions you'd like to hear us answer, and find all of our resources for instructional coaches on our website at coachbetter.tv. You can also find us on social media at Eduro Learning or in our Coach Better Facebook group, and you can subscribe to our channel here on YouTube to catch all of our latest videos. If you're not sure where to start, take our free quiz to get a tailored list of free resources delivered straight to you and designed specifically for your level of coaching experience. Find it at coachbetter.tv/quiz. In today's episode, we are talking about how informal leaders, like instructional coaches, can advocate for equity in their school setting. This is a highlight from one of my favorite episodes from a previous season featuring Ange Molony, secondary school vice principal at Discovery College in Hong Kong. If you're a longtime listener to Coach Better, you know that instructional coaches are informal leaders in their schools. I'll link to that episode up here and in the show notes. We can use this informal leadership in so many ways. One way is to support or start conversations that are really important but may be currently overlooked. Instructional coaches are fortunate to engage with so many different stakeholders throughout their work, and they may have relationships and experiences with other community members that provide insight that other formal leaders don't have. When we have the opportunity to advocate for others, instructional coaches have a variety of pathways to start or continue that conversation. This episode with Ange highlights her own experience in being an advocate and may provide insight for you to consider how you might do something similar in your school setting. Okay, let's jump into the clip with Ange. As a leader, how are you, or how should you, or how could leaders, maybe is a better question, advocate for equity, like in hiring, in making students feel comfortable and confident in these spaces? That part about if international schools are systems of white supremacy, what can we do when we're in that leadership position? We have a voice. We can make a change. What is it that you think leaders should be doing, or that you wish you could do, or you would like to do, or you anticipate doing, whatever way that feels comfortable for you to respond to?
Yeah. And I think there's a couple of things. I think, for me, I definitely represent a queer educator, a queer leader. I'm open in that at school. I'm open in my presentation. So even if I don't explicitly say it, I talk about my wife. My wife works at a different school, but part of the same organization. So colleagues certainly know that, and then students sort of come to learn that. So little things can be, and actually I was talking about this with my students today, about empathy can sometimes start from your own personal experience. So coming into my school that had a gendered dress code for teachers, I sort of suggested, and I sort of got the feel of the place, and then I went into the leadership team, that I dress like how you described that men should dress, and I've never once worn anything that you describe. And they were just like, immediately changed it, just immediately. And so I think the very first thing there is that if you hire diverse people, they will see things that you didn't see. Like if you can hire people who've had different experiences, they're going to see it. And it's no offense to the people who were in leadership before, they just never experienced that. They never experienced how that might feel to read that. So that's the first thing. And so now, that I'm in a position where I'm also recruiting other people. One of the things that myself and my head of secondary, and we work really closely together, and we both realize our own privilege. He might fit the mold, and he will say it out loud. He might fit the mold of what you might expect as a secondary school leader in an international school. And so he's really doing the work as well. And we talk a lot, and we make sure that we point out things that we see, and have the confidence to have those hard conversations with the leadership team as well. One of the things, so in recruiting, you're actively checking your bias. I think that there's a danger in people sort of say, oh, I eliminated all my bias when I was recruiting and I wasn't looking for that. Like you just can't do that. So you're actively checking, and you're getting other people to be part of that. So on the leadership panel, who is sitting next to you? Because when I listen to somebody's story, I'm hearing it through my experience. Make sure you have different people as much as you can on the leadership panel. You have students, you have teachers, you have counselors, you have as many different people as you can interviewing new teachers, because you may have done everything you can to get diverse teachers into getting them an interview to come to your school. But if you then only have white, cis, straight people interviewing, you can't remove that bias, and then so you kind of open the door, but you closed it already. And that's a really slow process. That's the hard thing. So you can have an entire team that's recruiting really, really recognizing that if the setup is wrong at your school and you need to change it. We need more diversity on our leadership team. But that can be really, really hard because of your own bias when you're having these conversations with people and you're looking at the experiences they had in the schools that they've had, and not to mention the hurdles that you then might face in terms of visas and things that are a little bit outside of your control. So I guess the first thing that it's easy for me to do is to dress the way I want to dress, to talk about my family the way that my straight colleagues might talk about their family. So that's something that I can do, and then make sure that I have that I speak out when I see things or when I hear things, and keep raising it. And that can be challenging because I certainly, people, like, oh, there we go again. Not everything is racist. Not everything is homophobic. Not everything is discrimination. Okay, but like 1,000 little things kind of add up to a big thing, and that can be tiring. But actually, I had someone recently say to me, I'm leaving and I'm sad to leave this school, and I've really had a good time here. And someone was nice, gave me a compliment, and sort of said, "Well, when Ange leaves, like, who's going to do this? Who's going to do this work? Like, it was my sort of job to do some of this work." And and somebody said, "No, you planted seeds, and just sort of planted the seeds, and they're growing." And because this person said, "I didn't even think about these things before, and now I see them all the time." And I think that has also taken some time for me as well, because the things that used to just get me so angry, and you could feel you're getting fired up and so frustrated at when things happen and then things don't change. I'm learning to slow down, to take a breath, and to sort of to have the conversations that need to be had, but allow the time for the learning and appreciate that sort of takes time. So I guess it's sort of be true to who I am, and continue to speak up and continue to call out, when you see things, and call people in,
That like continually speaking up, that's the work that's a piece of the work that just becomes so taxing, because you talk about the eye rolls and then not everything and blah, 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 but not only to help others recognize things that they might not see, that on its own is like takes a level of patience, right? That you're talking about, like, because the change can be so slow and it should have been like this yesterday. Why am I still having the same conversation, 6 years down the line or whatever it might be? But then there's also the stress, burden, ownership. I don't know what the right word is, but a feeling like that's your responsibility. And why should it have to fall on you? And like, obviously, if we had the solution for this, the world would be a wonderful place. There probably isn't a nice, easy package solution for this, but I just think, I guess it's important to recognize that everyone can do this. Everyone can speak up. Everyone can keep having those conversations. Everyone can, recognize when things aren't equitable. And just the act of speaking up is that first step. And everyone is capable of doing that thing.
Yeah. And I think you see when something changes, if you recognize that somebody is not coming to say, "Hey, Ange, this thing happened. do I need to do something? That's bad, right? And they're skipping that part and they're going straight to whoever needs to go to, or straight to the student or straight to the teacher and saying, no, this is bad. That thing that you did, or that thing that you said, or the way that you talked about that book, or whatever it is, the way that you dismissed that woman when she tried to say something, like I saw that, whereas I think that there was a while where people were, and it's not just me, but people coming to
confirming,
just confirming and just going that, and that's, I think they're the seeds, right? They're starting to sort of grow, and you see other people kind of recognizing, and especially in international schools in this part of the world, there's just not that many women who are leading schools and in these positions. And
it's not just this part of the world. It's sadly everywhere. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed that clip with Ange. One of the things I loved about the full conversation with Ange, and if this clip resonated with you, please make sure to listen to the full episode, which I'll link in the show notes for you and up here, is how she highlighted that coaching was her pathway to leadership. Sometimes as coaches, we struggle to see ourselves as leaders in our school communities. We have often come from the classroom and still consider ourselves just another teacher. But making the mindset shift to see yourself as a leader is an essential part of embracing your role. I'll link a couple more episodes about that up here and in the show notes for you. This can be such a big change that we include this concept in all of our courses for coaches at the level that's just right for your experience. Each of our 3 global cohorts will help you take the next step in developing your coaching practice and your mindset as an informal leader, either as a brand new or aspiring coach in getting started as an instructional coach, or as a current coach or educator ready to build a thriving coaching program in the Coach Certificate and Mentorship Program, or as an experienced coach who's ready to lead in our course, Coaches as Leaders. Find all the details for all of these courses at coachbetter.tv/learn. Global cohorts open once a year. If you're not sure which course is right for you, watch one of our free workshops for instructional coaches. They're designed for your level of coaching experience so you can take the next right step in your learning right now and uncover which course is right for you. Find them all at coachbetter.tv/learn. Wherever you are in your coaching journey, we can support you. If you're curious right now and you have questions, please reach out. You can leave a comment down below or on the show notes on our website at coachbetter.tv. You can join our Coach Better Facebook group, or you can find us on social media at Eduro Learning and send me a DM. I'd love to support you in your coaching journey. See you next time.